More breaking news coming in this morning here. Week 1, the Oakland Raiders have released Antonio Brown. He asked to be cut this morning, and how many hours are we now?
3.
From that? 3 hours. I don't even know what time it is or what day it is, but 3 hours
2
later.
2 hours and like 58 minutes.
It's close. The team has cut him, so Antonio Brown, before he even plays one game with the team, is no longer an Oakland Raider.
This is where somebody tweets out, here are all the highlights of Antonio Brown's time with the Raiders, and it's like 4 hours of black screen. That's all it is. Just nothing but silence. And we discussed the possible. Are we talking about this right now? We got
to. Hold on a second, you over there. You're very excited.
Listen, his hands are going.
There's a show plan here that just basically is just.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have Ian Rapoport and Tom Pelissero with us, standing by right now, and let's go to Ian first up. Hey guys, look alive out there. Get excited, Ian. What you got? What's happening right now? What are you hearing? And how is this going to work out for Antonio and the Raiders money-wise?
Well, Antonio Brown is officially a free agent at 4 o'clock today. That is when he can start talking to teams, and that is when he will likely start planning out his future destination, and obviously one of the most sought-after free agents we can remember, just based on his ability on the practice field. Teams, no doubt, are going to be doing their homework going forward now to try to see, is this a guy that they want to bring into their team? As far as, Colleen, why Antonio Brown was so upset, my understanding, I actually just got a
Mayock has voided his guarantees. They have not paid him any money. There are no salary cap consequences for the Raiders because even when they adjusted his deal, made him briefly the NFL's highest paid receiver, there was no signing bonus, so there is no proration. The Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way, are still carrying over $21 million in dead cap hit for Antonio Brown. The Raiders, again, pending this grievance, actually saved themselves upwards of $14 million in cap space, $14 million in cash. There are potential grievances, legal things here that will play out. But the short version of this, Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the NFL, is now a free agent, can sign with anyone and play immediately.
It is incredible that one of the top wide receivers in the game is available.
The day before the first game.
This is week 1, people. MJ Acosta, she's out in Alameda. And MJ, wow, just like that, Antonio Brown, gone.
I mean, guys, as I'm listening to all of this, following along with Ian's breaking news, I'm thinking back to the day that they introduced Antonio Brown here at the facility as an Oakland Raider. But just the looks on the faces of John Gruden and Mike Mayock to now, all of this, there's no way any of us could have predicted that it would have happened in this timeline. But certainly what has occurred over the past few months and certainly over the past few days has just been out of any realm of possibility that I could have imagined. It'll be really interesting once we get back there for practice in a couple of hours or an hour or so, and then really interested to hear what John Gruden will have to say, and if Mike Mayock comes out and addresses the media as well. I will, of course, be keeping you guys up to date, and any reactions I get from the players once they're in the locker room. I mean, they have been through this roller coaster as well, and they're prepping for a Monday Night Football game to start the season and turn around a franchise who ended 4-12 last year that is moving now to another city and has their final season here in the city of Oakland. So this is just a lot to take in and a lot to unpack as we continue through this.
I can't imagine what Raiders fans are thinking right now. Thank you, MJ. Because of
thinking like, oh man, our team probably made the right decision. Cut bait. Cool.
Yeah.
Move on.
I mean, honestly, it's a situation that it both escalated quickly, but we kind of saw it coming the entire time. It started sort of slow, and it was a little bit weird and bizarre with the things that were going on with his feet and the helmet, and then all of a sudden it was just like, it's on, and now he is no longer with the Raiders.
It's crazy for me because, I mean, I work in the youth football space, right? I do my foundation in Virginia. That's what we do, right? And there's a lot of youth football kids out there right now on the football field trying to emulate Antonio Brown and the things that he does. And I can't tell you guys how many times I've been at practices and I've seen young people try to just walk off the field and try to say, I don't need to practice and all of those things. I hope young people are watching this. You can get the game taken away from you for those selfish actions. And again, it's just something that it's a teachable moment to the young people across America that this is not the way to act if you want to continue to play this game. The game can be taken away from you.
And D'Angelo, when you think about the personality of Antonio Brown and you see that now he's cut, he's not on a team, what if a team does not pick him up because they're scared off by everything that's happened? How do you think that is going to affect Antonio Brown as a person and a player?
I mean, it's the true soul searching. And sometimes it takes to be put in a very, very uncomfortable situation. Having football taken away from you the way it seems as though it's taken away right now. Like we keep saying, he's a tremendous talent, so I feel like somebody's going to take a chance. But if that chance, if nobody takes a chance, he's going to be looking at himself in the mirror like, man, I was so wrong in so many different ways. And it takes self-reflection. And I don't know AB personally, but I would hope he has some people around him that can say, hey, look, man, you were wrong. We did this the wrong way. And moving forward, he tries to do things the right way because, yeah, it could be taken away, just like you guys said.
Opportunities come with an expiration date.
It's such a hard question to answer, you know, somebody would take a chance on him and somebody would bring him in. Nobody's coming with $30 million guaranteed. That ship has sailed. But if Antonio Brown knew for sure I was getting my $30 million from the Raiders, don't worry, I'm going to win the grievance, then he wouldn't care. I'll just go play on the veteran minimum for somebody else. He doesn't know that, and he may not know that for a while. This could take a while before that legal stuff that we were talking about pans out. So I really find it might be an interesting situation over the next couple of days and maybe the next couple of weeks. Could take a while before we know even a little bit about which way it's going to go. But somebody wants that talent on their team. That's the bottom line.
I don't see him get that $30 million. To me is off the table completely. Once he got hit with conduct detrimental, that is documented right there. The thing that we kind of wrestled with was could they do the termination pay if he wasn't on the, if he was able to come to that game, that first game. Yeah. That's no longer even an issue. He's cut.
Well, that's why they cut him, because they felt like they were free from that obligation.
I don't think he has any merit to sit there and try to get that $30 million back with some of the things he's done as far as saying conduct detrimental. He needs to come into this looking like, hey, look, this is what I'm making this year. No matter where he can get that from another team. He's not going to have the luxury to say, I'm still getting the 30 guarantee and I'm a double dip and get some more money.
At some
that
point,
to me is not even on the table.
At some point, AB is going to have to be quiet, put his head down, and just go to work. Stay off social media, stop posting everything.
Does he have that in his personality,
though? Football.
And because of everything he's done leading up to this right here, it ain't going to be for $15 million.
They are finalizing his multi-year extension. The Falcons are. Tom Pelissero was the first on this, so let's get out to him now and hear what is the latest with Julio, Tom.
Well, there's been a unique dynamic at play for the Falcons and Julio Jones since Arthur Blank had said publicly before the start of training camp that they were going to make Julio Jones the highest paid receiver in the NFL. And Jones himself, who remember was not there at the start of camp a year ago until the Falcons gave him a $2.9 million bump on his salary. He showed up on time this time and said that he had Arthur Blank's word that this deal would get done. I am told there are still some minor details to work out, but the Falcons and Julio Jones are finalizing an extension. It's expected to be 3 years in the range of $66 million, by far clearing the previous high in terms of average per year. That was Michael Thomas on his extension that he signed a little over a month ago with the Saints. His average $19.25 million. Julio Jones going to check in closer to $22 million. That's going to be a hard deal for the next receiver to beat. Of course, there are other guys like Amari Cooper coming up on a new deal with the Cowboys. This is a bar that should, you would think going forward, be the high water mark for a while for wide receivers.
There it goes again, resetting the market. Tom, thank you so much. You've been working overtime this morning on this Saturday. What a way to kick off the 100th year of the NFL season, right? I mean, tons of news here. All right, so guys, we will have some actual telling the world that he wants to be released from the Raiders. He wants out of the organization. We learned that this morning as soon as our show came on the air. It's because of the, a multitude of events. But our Tom Pelissero reporting that he accrued $215,000 in fines because missing training camp, the altercation with Mike Mayock, and then that would void the $30 million of guaranteed base salary that he has. So a lot of money at stake there. We talked to David Carr a little earlier, who had also talked to his brother, David Carr.
Derek.
And then on the phone right now, we have David Carr. David, we've been trying to get in touch with you all morning.
All right. Come on, spill the tea, David.
What's
up,
on?
man? Let's go, man. We need to know.
Hey, guys, let me help you out. First of all, you guys are on the East Coast. It's 6 o'clock in the morning in California. Saturdays are days to sleep in. So then I get like 13 phone calls and people panicking, and I'm like, what did I miss? And then Garofalo hits me up, and I'm like, oh, that's what I missed. Got it. So then
more breaking news coming in this morning here. Week 1, the Oakland Raiders have released Antonio Brown. He asked to be cut this morning, and how many hours are we now?
3.
3 hours. I don't even know what time it is or what day it is, but 3 hours
2
later.
2 hours and like 58 minutes.
It's close. The team has cut him, so Antonio Brown, before he even plays one game with the team, is no longer an Oakland